Hello, this is Lina. My topic is over tourism in Japan, which leads to a tension between international visitors and local Japanese. Before starting the presentation, I want to briefly introduce my schedule today. First, I will mention some primary events in recent years that have an important impact on tourism in Japan. Second, I will describe some public principles in Japan culture, which foreigners may not be familiar to. Also, I will talk about some privacy concerns since it is common to see many foreigners unintentionally offend the locals because of the lack of awareness. Then I will go through my own analysis about the reason that aggregate this conflict. Finally, I will refer to Japan First policy, which is similar to the Conservative Party in the US. The key events of international tourism in Japan. According to the source by Japan, visits inside Japan in 2025, they state that before 21st century, Japan only had 1/7 of today's international visitors, and most of them were from neighboring countries like Korea, China, and Taiwan. In 2003, the government conducted the first serious attempt to attract more tourists to the country. The depreciation of yen in 2012 was the turning point of the development of tourism in Japan. The number of international visitors increased rapidly after this strategy. Many people were looking forward to what Tokyo Olympics can benefit the tourism industry. However, the government decided to cancel all public competition because of the pandemic. This is the graph that shows the number of visitors arriving in Japan this year. We can see the significant growth in 2012 because of the depreciation of yen until the COVID hit in 2020. Now I'm going to share my observation when I was traveling in Japan this summer. The first issue is the roles in public. Like Japan is a culture that very values people to be quiet in public so that you won't bother others and people can take a rest in the public. And it is also very important to put your backpacks in front of your body so your bags won't hit anyone else. Also, they have the women-only carriage, which is used to protect women from sexual harassment. Also, for the indoor space, parents are supposed to discipline their kids not to talk loudly and run in public space. And also Japanese culture, they have the opposite direction from the Americans. They walk to the left and usually they don't sit on the floor. Many Western people may get confused when asking them not to sit on the ground, and the rule is based on the respect for others because you may dirty the chairs and no one wants to sit on the chair with the dirt. Recently, there are many posters and signs in public like that in transportation and places to tell people what is inappropriate and inappropriate in the culture. However, it doesn't eliminate all the bothering behaviors. The second issue is privacy concerns. Japan is a country that values a high level of privacy. Since tourist areas often have a great intersection with residential houses, the people who live there are likely to be bothered by the visitors. This is Hanamikuki, a street where preserved historical and cultural heritage. The government had prohibited tourist access to specific residential areas. Also, like there's no photograph allowed in private road. And this red line just shows the street where non-residents can receive a line when they try to enter it. And no cameras in front of children. Also, like this is a geisha. She's a traditional artist in Japan, and like the tourists just like taking pictures of her, and she looks very uncomfortable because like she felt they felt it's a violation of their own privacy. Also, it's very significant to be aware of the social distance because like Japanese people are more comfortable to keep a distance with strangers. My own analysis is the first one: many foreigners ignored and failed to respect with the Japanese culture because their superiority. International travelers are usually the people with privilege, and some of them think they are superior than the locals, and there is no need for them to respect others' culture, but only to enjoy their own vacation. Also, like the price of condominiums skyrocket since many companies favor vacation and short-term rental rather than local housing. This is the graph by the World and Japan Property Center in 2022. You can see while the other properties is stable, the condominiums skyrocket after the 2012, which is the year of the depreciation of yen. And also, like when a culture is commercialized, the people within the culture will face more stereotypes and labels on them. The Japan First policy is a citizen response to over-tourism in their country. According to the title, The Rise of the Far-Right Japanese First Party by Shima and Kelly on BBC in 2025. They state that the main idea about this policy is anti-globalist, that Japanese people, they think the global institution and company try to load power to citizens. And also like the immigrants and tourists, they take advantage of the welfare systems. And these people, they think tourism are the big problem of the society because like many misbehavior and bad manners are led by this tourist, and they try to possess more strict regulation, and such as like people have to pay their medical bills and insurance before they enter the country. Also, there's more restriction of visa, and like they used to have like sales tax free, but now they try to cancel it in 2026. This is my work study page. Thanks for listening.